Hello, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful Supercharged Sunday episode here with me, Emily McHugh, your Supercharged host and business host. It was a business Supercharged host and business coach. Okay, whichever. And I'm so thrilled to have with me the lovely Katy Simpson coming all the way from the United Kingdom today. Welcome, Katy.
Woohoo. Hi.
So
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
yes, it's wonderful to have you here. And today we have another wonderful episode of Supercharged Sunday because today it's all about live videos and how to do it correctly, how to supercharge your live videos. And let me tell you, we can all benefit from more tips and insights. And today we have the live video expert sharing these insights and recommendations with us. And our topic today is the 3 ways to be great on your live videos. Right, Katy?
Yeah, we used to have an advert in the UK. I don't know whether you had it. What was it? It was for some breakfast cereal, and it was like a tiger, and it
Yes,
used to go great. So
Tony
we'll
the
do that.
Tiger. Absolutely. Well, you know what, Katy, that reminds me, and I know you're going to get into this, but certainly we're going to want to encourage people at the end of our video to go to your website and download this amazing freebie that you have, which is about voice prepping, not voice training, but a little bit voice. Tell me, help me out. Voice
Yeah, warm
exercise,
ups.
warm ups. That's the
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
And I have to tell you guys, I've been doing these warm ups, and not only are they fun, but Katy can explain more like what they do and what the impact it has when you do them. But you make all these cool sounds like hooray and yippee. So if you see me super excited, is because I've been doing that. I've been warming up. So Katy, again, thank you for sharing with us. So tell me about the title. How did you get into what you're doing? A little bit of
Yes.
background.
So I love hearing about people's career journeys onto online business and where they've been and the strange, wonderful ways that they get to be where they are. Um, so yeah, I've always loved music, as Emily knows, because she's a wonderful musician too. Music has been my life, and then I got into singing, and somebody told me I was really good at that, so I studied that and did that professionally for a while, and taught that for a long, long time. And then my health went and it really affected my voice too. So teaching and performing singing was, it became almost impossible for me, so I had to sort of look elsewhere. So I love helping ladies, so I started doing beauty treatments and teaching people how to get great skin and do facials on them and massages on them and make them feel fantastic, because I love doing that. And then as my health kept dipping, and then COVID, I don't want to use that word, but anyway,
Yes.
there we go, appeared. Both of those sort of combined. And I was in a group of people who we'd all done the ClickFunnels, what's it called? Challenge thing. Can't remember what it's called right now. And we all felt that we ought to try and do live video. And I was in this group with the others, and they were all saying, oh, how they were terrified about doing live video, and how they really want to do it, but they're really terrified. And I thought, well, actually, I really like live video. And they were all saying, well, why are you in this group? And it made me think that I love it. I I've got a performing background, so even though I've had really, really bad experiences with speaking in public, actually, really terrifying and humiliating experiences, even so, there's a connection that you get with live video that is really, really special. I've met so many lovely people online, made really good friends, and it's such a special platform, and it's so being pushed out by all of the social media platforms. They absolutely love it as well. And I've realized that I can help people with their confidence and with their mindset, with feeling relaxed, feeling energized, feeling confident with their voice, with their style, and things like that. So, yeah, I got that realization about 8 months ago, and started from there. So yeah, that's
That's a
in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's a beautiful background, Katie, and I love how all these different things come together, the different skills and talents that you have, and you bring them to bear in an area that maybe originally you never thought would have come about, but with the times that we're in and using these skills. So it's a wonderful way of pivoting, as they say, and repurposing your talents. And I have to just say that when Katie and I first met, I we met through one of I think it was Abby Cornell's group and on Facebook, and I joined your sing along, or what do you call it? Fun Fridays.
Yeah,
And Katie plays beautifully. She's playing the piano and singing, and I was playing my violin. And I'm here in Florida, and she's there in the UK. Somehow it came through, but no, it was a
yeah,
wonderful, tons of fun, and it's amazing how this medium of live videos have brought us together from around the world at this time.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I really believe that it's a powerful work that you're doing and using your voice as a professional singer to train us to learn some of those techniques. So,
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's been wonderful getting to know you and having that fun together, and that connection that is just really unique. There's so much you can do with live video. Yeah, so with the voice aspect, there are lots of people who teach confidence on camera, loads and loads of people, and it's brilliant. We all need that confidence, because if you want to go live, if you want to get your face out there, if you want to show up, and the know, like, and trust factor happens very, very quickly if you go live. It's just fantastic. So it's brilliant that there are loads and loads of people talking about the confidence on camera, but not many people talk about what we could call audio branding.
mhm,
And our voices are really unique. So what you see on live video is, important, an important aspect. But what you hear, the way that you hear somebody's voice, the music that they use on their intro, or maybe they've got some um, copyright free music on Facebook. You can do that through Creator Studio, by the way, on Facebook. You can have that in the background behind you if you want to create an atmosphere. So yeah, the confidence with our voice, but the way that we speak, our whole audio branding is an experience in itself. So I love giving that little, extra bit, that little nuance, slightly different from what a lot of confidence coaches talk about, because it's not just the visual, the sound aspect is major, if not more important. So, yeah.
I think you're the first person that I've heard use the term audio branding. So that's new to me to hear that expression, and I appreciate your highlighting that because now that takes it to again another level as well. So way beyond just the visual, the audio, the whole package of how you sound. Do you have an irritating voice? Do you have a melodic voice? Do you have one that people want to actually hear? As they say, easy on the ears or easy on the eyes and easy on the ears, but
Mm,
it really brings into sharp focus something that maybe many times we would not really think about
mm,
so much. So,
yeah.
and I know too, Katie, from your freebie that you shared, it says, or maybe it was one of the videos that you did. So
Mhm.
everything's kind of merging because you've put out so much great content. So wherever it came from, where you highlighted that a lot of people, when they speak, they will raise the inflection of their voice at the end, so it sounds like a question. Everything's a question all the time. And
Yeah.
people are not cognizant of the fact that they're doing that. Or if they are, it's irritating. So, but they keep doing it anyway. So I know you're going to speak to all of this. Maybe that's a part of your tips, but that's one example of an audio brand that if you're known for doing that, it can
Mm.
really show a lack of confidence and a lack of all kinds of things. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's I remember making that point. Yeah, so a lot of American sitcoms, like Friends and other loads of other things, people tend to go up at the end of the sentences, and as you say, it makes them sound unconfident. It
mhm,
makes them sound like they're asking a question all the
right.
time. They
Yes.
don't really know what they're talking about.
Right. Right.
And it some people are just so used to it that that's just the way it is. But there's so many, the voice is so flexible, it's unbelievable. If you think of voice impressionists, you call them, don't you, who can
Yeah.
make themselves sound like famous people, and people completely different obviously than they are, and they can do all sorts of things with their voice. It really is incredible. So the way that we speak normally doesn't have to necessarily be exactly the way that we speak all the time. So
Mm.
I mean, we have unique voices. We have spaces in our body that create this unique sound. Um, but most of us don't really utilize all of those spaces. We don't utilize the whole gamut of what our voice is capable of. And if we if we want to sound and be quite enigmatic to our audience, that doesn't mean, I don't mean you have to be all in their face. I don't mean that at all. So maybe that's the wrong word to use. But um, if we can use more of the toolbox in our voice, we know different things that we can do and pick out things, for different whatever we're doing. If, for a sales pitch, we can pick out this bit of the toolkit, which would be more effective. If we're doing more relaxed, fun, uh, maybe meditative, whatever you're doing, and we can pick all these things out and know how to use these with our voices, it's so effective. So our voices are incredibly flexible, um, and we can really utilize so many things about them to just come across as the, somebody coined the phrase, the CEO that you want to be, that you want to come across as. um our voices are such a major thing that we can use in our for our benefit, for our branding, for our sales, the way that we are as a
Yeah.
business.
So, Katie, what would be an example of something, an underutilized thing in our voice that we don't even realize that we have that we could use to our benefit?
Yeah, so there's a few things, and for us who are musically minded, these will come across as obvious when you think about it. So, one of the things that is really, really effective is our speed. So, we call that
Mm,
tempo in music. So, the speed of our voice. So, we can really easily play with that and work with it. So, I was talking today on my group about using silence in your voice. Silence is actually really, really powerful. So you can, if you want to sound really excited about what you're talking about, and a typical example of this, if you know him, is Russell Bronson, who talks really, really fast, 100 miles an hour.
Mhm.
And if he chose to just slow down and stop at one point and then speed up, um, he would. I mean, he really gets. He's very clever at using his voice, but if you lean in to the microphone and you slow down and you talk very, very slowly and one to one with somebody, it really makes your audience come in. Um, Somebody who's really quite good at that is Jasmine Star on her podcasts, particularly. She'll say, like, at one point, she'll say, "Right, friends, now let's talk about so," and then she'll start going blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
So speed is easy to change and use, and that can really have an impact. Another thing is pitch. So especially if we're a bit nervous, a bit lacking in confidence, we can end up on our sort of monotone, and we tend to speak a bit. And often when we're nervous, we can end up being like that. But just try and get some excitement in your voice and raise your pitch. I don't mean volume here, I mean how high and low you go. And just get a bit of interest in your voice and just bring it up, and then to relax it, just bring it down. And I could just get into a little warm up here at that
Please,
point.
let's do it.
So, first of all, with warming up your voice, there's there's two things that this is really, really good for. Before you're going live, it really helps you to relax because you can do some deep breathing, and you don't have to spend ages doing this. You can just spend like literally seconds before you go live. So it's good just to take some deep breaths. So take a breath in, and then it's the release of breath that you breathe out slowly. That's better than breathing in deeply, deeply, deeply till you're like this. So
Mhm.
you can take a fairly normal breath in, but it's the breath out that's important. So if you take a fairly normal breath in through your nose, just slowly, and then out through pursed lips. And then another one in through your nose. And then out through pursed lips a bit longer. And you can do that about 3 times, and just instantly it just calms, doesn't it? It calms. But it also helps to prepare you because it gets that oxygen flowing, flowing, flowing through your body, which is great for the brain. It's great for your wellness, makes you feel good, relaxes you, it centers you, loads of things, helps you focus. So it's really good to start off with that. Just do a few things just before you're live. Just take a moment just to breathe. And then we can just extend that a little bit into our voice with a really lovely sigh of relief. So you can breathe in with an open mouth this time, and then just sigh. And you might notice that your voice is dipping down and going lower. So then I like to do it again, but in an even more enthusiastic size. So starting a bit higher. So that's it. So we're still doing that lovely breath and oxygen and everything, but we're also getting the voice going.
Mm.
So the third thing that's great in the same sort of way is now doing what we call a siren.
Mm.
So in the UK, our sirens tend to be nino nino. It's not like that. Not that sort of siren.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a sliding through your range on a very, very the quietest sound that you can possibly make on an NG. So the NG of sing is a good thing to do. So you can say the word sing, and you can start off high with the NG and slide down and up and down and up. And if you can do it 3 times, sliding like this, sing.
Sing.
That's it. That's great.
Sing. I love it.
So for more advanced level, what you try and do is exactly the same thing, but relax your head without going up and down.
Mm.
So just free up your voice, basically. So there's great warm-ups. And then Emily mentioned one that I do, which is sort of the next level. If you have time to do this one, is to just shout some fun exclamations like woohoo, yippee, hooray, yeehaw, and stuff like
Supercharge.
that. Yeah. And it just makes you feel great. You know, you can't go onto your live and be all heavy and tense once you've done that. It just really frees you up. And the last one that I is really really good, is just saying your tagline
Mm.
in different ways. So saying it in a whisper, saying it slowly, saying it really excited in a high pitched excited voice, and in all different ways. And that just really starts warming up and stretching that voice and giving it a good old workout, and strengthening it as well. Because a lot of us, um, if we're on live video, you do need to be a bit larger than life. If
Mm.
you're your normal self, it all gets a bit dull on camera. The camera dulls things down. Um, so you do have to bring yourself up to a level of imagining maybe that you're not on stage in front of 10,000 people that much. That would be a bit too much, because you'd be, hello, you know, it'd be a bit. But maybe you're doing a presentation to a number of people, you know, a dozen people, 20 people, something like that, that sort of level. So yeah, we need to, in a good way, just psych ourselves up in the
Yes.
best way.
This is really fantastic because I'm sure practically everything you're saying, most of these things, most of us, when we go live, we don't even think about it. And so
Mm.
now it's not even a part of on our radar, if you will. So now with you highlighting it, it certainly will be. We have to up our game. So you have some 3 great tips. You've already shared quite a few already, but I know you have some very other specific tips to highlight on how we can have these great live videos. And Katie, just a moment before you even get into to listing them out, what have you found are some of the most common mistakes people are making when they go live that they could change like immediately?
Yeah, so going live, we all tend to overcomplicate it, and then we can get ourselves in a right old state of panicking and overwhelm and all sorts of things. It's best to start. I am getting to your what you've
Yeah, yeah,
asked,
no, it's
but
all
I'm
good.
getting there.
No, very good.
It's best to start with live video with just practicing it and not using any extra technology at first at all. Just doing it from your phone, going live onto Facebook, and just put only me. You know, that your video is just going to go to only you,
Mm.
and just practice, because some things that people do, which, you know, basically all of us have done at some stage or other, or still do,
Mhm.
and it does take practice just to get used to it. One of the main things that people do when they're going live is sort of look at themselves.
Mhm.
Look here. I'm not actually looking that far down from my camera right now, but it just breaks the connection. It can make you, I don't really know why, but it can make you seem a bit aloof, like you don't really care about the person. It's
Hmm.
weird that obviously do, but it's just raising your eyes to where the camera is. So if you're on your phone, the camera is, on my iPhone
Hmm.
is there. If I've got my iPhone like that and I'm doing my live videos, then you've got to be aware that it's now there, which is a strange thing because we all tend to look in the middle at ourselves. But we've got to try and look at the camera at least some of the time, at least at the beginning of your live videos, and some of the time. If you stare at it constantly, it's really freaky.
I
So
think.
that's a typical thing that we all do. And a little tip to help you is just get a post-it note and just plonk it, or a sticker or something, or anything, a Sharpie or whatever, um, and just stick it right next to the camera. And it just reminds you, we just need that little bit reminder where it is, because it's so tempting to look at ourselves,
Or look
and
at the,
not.
yeah, or the person you're speaking to. Like right now, I'm looking
Yeah,
and I want to look at the camera, but I want to look at you, and I feel it's like a
yeah,
double thing in your head. So you have to kind of
yeah,
think about how you're going to be viewed, not so much how it feels for you while you're doing it, but who's going to be looking at it and how they feel.
yeah, yeah.
So that's the shift.
A way that when you get more advanced and confident in your lives and do quite a few lives and want to get a teleprompter, a way that people get around that is that they can set their teleprompter up so that the comments come up on their teleprompter. Their interviewee is on there as well, and so they're still looking at the camera all the time, and
Right,
it doesn't feel like they've got
right.
to ignore the person they're
Well, you're
talking
taking
to.
us to a whole new level, Katie, when we get into teleprompters. That's a whole other level of life. But that's,
Yeah, it is,
yeah.
but when you're starting out, just
Mm,
try and look at the camera, try and remind yourself every so often at least to look at the camera, and you don't have to stare at it
mhm,
because nobody wants somebody glaring at them the whole time.
mhm,
um,
mhm.
so that's one thing. And another thing that we all have done at least at some point, and if you haven't, then you're some megastar, is how we start the live video.
Mhm.
This used to happen a lot more when live videos just started out being a thing, but a lot of people then, and I've done this quite a lot, is to say, "Hi, can you hear me?" And maybe touching the mic or whatever. Can you see me? I'll just wait until people come on. So those sort of three things is not a great way to start with live video. But if you've done them before, that's great that you've gone live. Don't beat yourself up about it, because we've all done it, and it just takes quite a bit of practice to get out of doing that, because it's nerve-wracking going live, and you want the reassurance from people, and you just want to sit there for a bit and like, hi, but if you practice, try to, what's brilliant at the beginning of a live is to give like oh, what's the word, it's gone out of my head, a hook, a hook. Try and give a little hook, right at the beginning. After that, try and introduce yourself. After that, say hi to the replay viewers, and then say hi to your live viewers, because the live viewers are going to take longer to come on. Your replay viewers are going to see right from the beginning, and they're your main audience. We do tend to forget that. Um, they're the main people that are going to see your videos. Um, and especially if you're going to repurpose your videos, so you're going to put them out on YouTube or whatever
So what
afterwards.
what would be a great example of how you do that? So your hook and your intro. So what would be an example of your hook, and then give us how you do it on Thrive with Live.
So a hook I could say is, have you ever felt really unconfident with your voice? Well, stick with me. Today I'm going to tell you 3 things to get you really confident on your live voice, your live video. And if you stay to the end, there'll be a special freebie for you. Hi, I'm Katy Simpson, blah, blah, blah. Give my tagline. Welcome to the replay, viewers. Let me know hashtag replay if you can see this, etc. That
Mm,
type of
okay.
thing. But it just does take a lot of practice. And I think if we can just take a bit of time, maybe for a few days, just maybe uh, 10 seconds each day, 1 minute each day, and just sit down and just practice saying those things over and over till we get used to them. We should be doing that with our tagline. I don't, I really need to do that. Because people need that. If you go live, or if you go on a Clubhouse and whatever you're doing, you're talking to people, you've got that in your little toolbox, and you can just say it without even thinking. And um, so yeah, those things really make a live video be scroll stopping.
Mm. And,
They really help.
and it's important that you mentioned Clubhouse and the more audio apps that are coming out now, which of course are just based on audio. So this is even more vital as these new technologies come on board and different ways of communicating are becoming more popular. So we all have to become radio personalities, if you will, and really learn these techniques that I think for a long time we've taken for granted. We think we just get on there and talk, but there is a formula, there is a whole method and
Mm,
procedure to make it effective. And
mm.
so what you're teaching is really valuable. So let's jump into the three tips to make you great on live video. Again, in addition to what you've already been sharing, is already really valuable.
Yeah, so some some tips to stop the scroll on your live video to really stand out. Um, Emily's good at doing this. If you look at her right now, if you're watching the video, you can see that she's got a really interesting backdrop there, which really catches your eye. Um, so you can do that. Emily did hers in Canva. We were having a chat about it before. So it's very
Best
easy
friend.
to, yeah,
Love
woohoo for
Canva.
Canva.
Oh yes.
Yeah, yeah. Um, why don't they pay us for saying this?
Well, affiliate links, hello.
Yeah, yeah, we try.
Hmm.
So yeah, so you can have a backdrop, or you can do something with your backdrop. So at the moment, I in my backdrop, if I point with my correct hand back to front, it's always nice if you've got your own. You're not using like a green screen or something for your backdrop. It's always nice to have a bit of greenery,
Hmm.
um, have just some things that speak of your personality, your company's personality, your visual branding, colors. It's good to have something in the backdrop that's nice, that's meant to be there. It looks meant to be there. It's not like it doesn't take away from your face. It's not like completely in your face. And the other thing is that's important as well that I've seen is somebody blending into their background. Maybe their skin color or whatever is almost as
Yeah, the
because
contrast.
yeah,
You
you
have
need some
contrast.
contrast.
Mhm.
I like a little bit of glittery, shiny fun, a little bit of calming stuff as well. So got a little picture there, little picture there.
Mhm.
So think about your backdrop. Don't have it too busy. Don't have things in front of each other. think about where you're sitting amongst your backdrop. Does it end up looking like you've got a strange head shape because of some object that's sort of appearing out of your head? Because we see backdrops and things in live as very 2D. We
Yeah.
can't see the dimension. So people can't work out if you've got some object in front of the other. It just gets a bit confusing and people end up looking at that rather than focusing on you.
Right.
So you can think about your backdrop, stand out from your backdrop, as Emily said, use a bit of style, coloring, personal branding. I teach about making your skin glow and making you look vibrant and youthful. I've actually got a treatment program about that.
Because
So
you have
make them.
beautiful skin, Katie. Your skin is
Thank
always
you.
glowing. So yes,
Oh,
definitely do tell us
thank
about
you.
that. Do you have a
Yeah,
program you
that's
said?
yeah. I've got an online transformational skin program to help you have glowing skin. So using products that suit you and techniques and tools that suit you. It's all lovely stuff.
All right.
So yeah, if you can look alive and youthful and glowing, then that really, that really speaks to people. That is really engaging. Help people to focus on what you're saying. So your lips, so a little bit of color on your lips. If you're pale like me and your lips just sort of blend into your general paleness, it just helps to have a little bit of pop of color. And if your eyelashes are like me, you've got nice strong coloring, Emily, but I haven't, so I need some mascara. Help people focus on your eyes and your lips. And that will help stop the scroll. Another thing that Emily is demonstrating beautifully for us right now is that she has Supercharge Sunday in purple near, on her screen, facing
Hmm.
pointed that
There
way.
somewhere. I
It's
can never
so
find it.
difficult to point on live video. It's just so confusing.
There we go.
Yeah, that's it. So that's called an overlay. So that's like you could have a logo there, or you could have what your show is, or whatever. Um, you can see that our names are in the bottom as well. So a little bit of that really helps. So overlays are great. You could have a ticker going across, like a news flash sort of thing, saying what you're talking about. So when people are scrolling, they can just easily see that, and it might just spark their interest, and they can stop um, and listen to you. Something else I wasn't going to say, but is really, really important, is make sure you turn captions on so that they can see if most people aren't listening. They've got
Hmm.
the sound turned off, so
Hmm.
they can quickly have an idea of what you're saying as well. So those things are really good. And one other thing is smile. You don't have to put on a fake grin. Everyone can tell when you're putting it on. But just if you have that warmness and you're inviting them in, and they can hear that smile in your voice, they can hear that warmth
Definitely.
and empathy. It really, really will help to bring people in. So some tips for
So those are
you.
great tips. So I don't know what's considered one, two, or three, but one, the backdrop, and under that you listed a variety of recommendations. So is the second one about the smiling, or I want to just kind of recap your three key ones under which you have your headers,
um
if you will.
So I can't remember what order I said these in.
That's okay.
I
That's
said at some point, look at the camera.
right, right.
I said at some point, the way you look, your personal branding, your colors.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and I then said um, about your overlays. And then I then said about your smile.
The smile. And I know that all of that together ties in to make you confident or to exude confidence as well, because that's one of the objectives, is that you come off as being an authority, if you will, or someone that
Yeah.
someone wants to listen to because
Mm.
of, I won't say the gravitas in your voice, but it comes off as a completely kind of packaged concept that you have taken into consideration these details
Mm.
and
Yeah.
effect that they have on conveying your message.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that yeah, so at first when somebody's dipping their toe into live video and they're a bit terrified about it, they don't know what they're overwhelmed thinking, "Oh, I need a camera, I need a microphone, I need lighting, I need a third party platform to go live, I need blah 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 blah," and they don't need any of that. It's just start, just do it, just press that button, even just to yourself, and just ramble on to yourself for for 10 minutes every day, for however long it takes you to feel like you've got some confidence, and then try and go live on stories. And because they're really short and they go away after 24 hours, or if you hate it anyway, you can just delete it. So that's a really good transition to do that. And once you start getting your confidence up, then you can start to think about these things, but really to get the notice and to really advance your live video skills, these sort of things will really make you, or help you show up as the CEO, the expert that you are, and they'll make people stop and take notice of you. As you say, they'll give you that authority, um, because some people unfortunately sort of stop at just before that level.
Mhm.
um but I think it's really important how you show up. You don't have to wear a suit and whatever, but just be you, but be intentionally you. Think about these things, think about how you're coming across with your sounds, with your look, what's behind you, your dirty washing isn't like hanging up.
Mm,
um,
I know. It's like do a full 360 and see what's caught on the camera or what's within that field of vision, if you will.
yeah,
But
yeah.
these are really extremely valuable tips and wisdom that you're sharing, Katie. A lot of things for us to think about and to take into consideration before we go live again, and not to make us nervous or like hyper um what's the word, self-conscious, but more so to it's like a checklist of things and understanding
Mm,
this is the impact, because you're coming on live because you have a message to deliver, and in order to deliver that message, you want it to have the right effect, the right impact, and all of that, and reach the right audience. So all of these details help to amplify that message and make
mm.
it, you communicate it more clearly. So it's really, really important. So I really appreciate these amazing insights from your perspective, again, as a musician, and bringing that skill set to bear on regular speaking and and just day-to-day communication. So Katie, how can people work with you? How can they find you? You have a wonderful podcast. You have all these wonderful things. So tell us how they can connect.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Emily. So, the easiest way to connect is to find me on Facebook. I'm there a little bit more than Instagram. I have a page called Katy Simpson, so spelt as my name is here, Katy Simpson, and you'll see there on my page that you'll see my podcast and my live trainings on there. I also have a Facebook group called the Live Video Success Hub for Ladypreneurs. Bit of a mouthful. And we have lots of fun in there and free trainings. And that's an encouraging group, for people who are just stepping out into live video and trying different things. So lots of different um, tech trainings and voice trainings and all that sort of thing in there. So I am on Instagram as well. I'm Thrive with Live at Instagram. And I'm on YouTube as Katy Simpson. I should really call them all exactly the same thing, but hasn't quite worked like that. So, Katy Simpson on most things, Thrive with Live on YouTube.
And
Yeah,
your podcast is Thrive with Life. That's the name of
it
your
is.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. So I encourage you all check out her wonderful podcast. I really appreciate having been on a guest recently on talking about how to supercharge your business, and that was a lot of fun being on with Katy. So I encourage you to go and subscribe to her YouTube channel, her podcast, and join her Facebook group because you have so much to learn, so many other insights that she shares that can really help us all supercharge our videos and our audio as well, as we had quite a segment on the audio aspect of going live. So I want to thank everyone for joining us today. If you have any questions, any comments, please write them down below. We'll come back and check them and allow you to connect with us. And I also invite you to join my birthday challenge, everyone. I don't know when you're going to listen to this, and even if you hear it way after my birthday, I still want you to do it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Right now, I'm growing it to get my first 100 subscribers by my birthday, which is July 31st, coming up really soon. So the clock is ticking, and I need you to join me. So actually, by the time you hear this, will probably be after my birthday.
Still
That's
do
all
it.
right. Exactly. I still need more than 100 subscribers. So I invite you
Yeah.
to do that and also to visit my Supercharge with Emily Facebook group and also website. Subscribe for my Supercharge weekly newsletter if you haven't already gotten that. All kinds of tips there. And also stay tuned for my Mastermind Retreat program, which is launching in August. And that provides an opportunity for you to build sustainable business and avoid burnout. And that ties in with many of the tips from Katy today. It's how to kind of sustain what you're sharing and sustain your voice, sustain your whole, have that energy to make it through your live. Well, we want to have energy to make it with your business. So the
Yeah.
whole everything
Yeah.
is connected. And so that is what we're here
So good.
about. So
So good.
yeah, so thank you again, Katy. This is just fantastic.
Mm, thank
And
you. Loved it.
yeah, I always look forward to going back and listening to the videos, and I encourage people to do that, not only the current ones, but go binge watch, everybody. Binge watch Supercharged Sunday because each
Ah,
week we have wonderful, wonderful gems. So, in the
yeah.
meantime, have a wonderful week and see you next time. In the meantime, stay supercharged. Woo!
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Katie.
everyone.
Thank you.